theology. We chop it up properly without an apology. Gotta give doxology to God hollow, because this is how we do it at All Things Theology. All Things Theology, All Things Theology. We chop it up properly without an apology. Gotta give doxology to God hollow, because this is how we do it at All Things Theology.
Yo, grace and peace, guys. It's Kdub, and welcome to another episode of All Things Theology. If you like what you're hearing, what you're watching, please leave a like, leave a comment, and make sure to subscribe to the content that I'm putting out. So today I want to do a video review. It's been a while since I've done a video review. I've been doing a lot of interviews. Hope it's been helpful for you. Hopefully you've been encouraged by it. Thank you for watching those. If you haven't, please do so. But today I want to review a video of Steve Harvey. Yes, Steve Harvey. You may say, why are you interviewing Steve Harvey? Poor Steve Harvey. What did he do? Well, he promoted some heresy. And so, hey, you guys know that I want to provide a Christian perspective on things, encourage people who may not be as studied, and equip them with tools to help them in their faith. And so that's my purpose. That's why I do these video reviews, not picking on anybody. I'm just examining what they say in light of scripture. And so Steve Harvey said, and hey, I'm going to spoiler alert, going to ruin the rest of the video, I guess, but Steve Harvey says that there is no one way to heaven. Now, if you have been following my channel for a while, you know that I've been dealing with that view for a while with Howard John Wesley. Check out that content I've done with that. He said the same thing. He's a pastor in Virginia, I believe. He said the same thing, and he promoted a kind of inclusivism or pluralistic view of salvation, or justification, salvation. That of course there's going to be many people outside of the Christian faith in heaven. And so not only that, he's kind of adopting this kind of weird, Chrislam, this kind of intermixing of faiths. I don't know if he's abandoning Christianity and now moving to Islam, or trying to say, hey, look, it's all the same. He's mixing them. But let's just play the video. That's what you guys came here for anyways.
Today, I want to tell you about a guy. You may know him for his comedy. You may know him for his mustache. But today, I want you to know him for his religion.
Hey, I'm Steve Harvey, stand-up comedian, entertainer, television host, family man. But most importantly, I happen to be a man of faith.
Well, it's good. That's good, but which faith? So if I was to look at this video, you were to look at this video, you would think he's talking about a man of the Islamic faith, right? And so do I really think that Steve Harvey has studied Islam and could tell you about Islam in depthly? No, I do not. What is his motivations? I'm not going to even try to attempt to assume or act like I know. I don't know his motivations on this, but I'm just going to deal with the reality is I believe he's wrong. And we'll get further on why I think he's trying to promote this perspective, but I don't think he's very studied in Islam, because let's just be real, he doesn't seem like he was very studied in Christianity with the kind of guys he circled himself around, and the kind of, if you've ever watched his show or watched him talk about Christianity or faith, it was very kind of word of faithish, and that's going to kind of be promoted even in this video. And so, yeah, I don't think he's very studied in Islam or Christianity to kind of give you a difference of perspective on any of the faiths, or, could tell you what they're all about. And we're going to see that later.
Steve is a very successful guy. He has made more money than he ever thought. He has become more famous than he ever thought. But at the same time, he managed to keep his relationship with God closer than ever. Why?
By the way, this is the same guy that wrote, what is it? Act like a woman, think like a man. And so you can already see that just from that title alone. It's just telling women to think unbiblically, or to act unbiblically. And so, yeah, let's hear him answer the question why he did not lose his faith, whatever that is.
Did you not lose faith as you became more successful?
If I could make myself successful, I would have done it a long time ago. I would have skipped so many of the lessons I had to learn. But it's not that. It's a process. Success and happiness is a process, man. And in this process, I was very aware of the amount of faith that was needed. And as a matter of fact, it really took more faith than I even thought I had.
So like for him, faith is like, I don't know, this source to get the success that you desire. And so this is like the religion of Hollywood, you know, they speak of faith, they speak of God, and this is kind of what they mean. You know, just have faith. And usually what they're telling you is to, you know, have faith that you can be successful or things like that. That's not what faith is. You know, biblically, faith has an object, and the object is Christ. You know, not success or right. He didn't mention anything about Jesus there, you know, or or even God. Faith in who? Faith in what? Those things need to be defined. And so, yeah, these are the reasons why I don't think Steve Harvey really knows anything about religion in any in-depth way. Not that he hasn't gone to church or grew up in the church and things like that, but as you see, when he answers questions on faith or religion, it's a word of faith, religion. Okay, fine. Yeah, I'll give you that.
See, oftentimes, people who are religious think their religion is right and everybody else is wrong.
And man, this is a good point too. I'm glad he brought this up because I was thinking about this when I first watched it. Islam thinks that. So you're not even representing Islam correctly because they would say, yes, we have the right religion. So why are you intermixing these both religions? It's you're going to cause a mismatch of both religions. You know, I'm a Christian, but let's be fair to Islam. Like, so what kind of, you know, syncretistic faith, Chrislam, like it's not even like you can't mix these two religions.
There's only one way to God.
But even with that, he's saying his way is right, and the people who say there's one way, they say so he's doing the same thing. They're doing the same thing in a less subtle way. It's a lot harder for people to think rationally and to critique that view because they're like, oh yeah, that sounds right. Like all you can't say one way is right, but that's saying your way is right, and the people who say there's only one way is wrong. Is wrong. You know.
But Steve's faith is unique because it's really not about that.
There's no one way to heaven. No one.
There it is. Hold on. Let allow him finish that. Hold on. Let's play back a little. Let's hear him say it.
There's no one way to heaven, no one way to paradise. It's like television. Now it's over 800 channels of cable, and they're all pretty entertaining. So I'm pretty sure, man, that to get to heaven, there's got to be more than one route. Because somebody watching another channel or taking another channel than you, they still getting entertained, and they probably still getting to heaven.
They're probably. So he doesn't even sound sure about that. But here he does, you know, Steve Harvey, the entertainer, you know, it's kind of analogies right up his window. The comedian is saying getting to heaven is like turning different channels. You know, more than one's going to entertain you, which is very subjective, by the way, because there's terrible TV shows. So I guess in that analogy, some TV channels can't save you because they're not going to entertain certain people. And getting to heaven is not about getting entertained. So, I know all analogies fall short, but that analogy falls miserably short. Salvation isn't like turning the channel and finding something you like about it. It's about Jesus. You know, that analogy is just so miserably short. So what Steve Harvey ultimately is doing here is saying the teachings of Jesus are wrong. It's calling Jesus a liar when he said, I am the way, the truth, the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. Steve Harvey is saying Jesus is a liar. Now, he's not explicitly doing that, right? But, you know, Implicitly, yes. Well, I would argue explicitly because that is an explicit denial of the Christian faith. Salvation is, getting to heaven is just like turning different channels and finding what entertains you. No, it's not. Your TV is broken. Let's use this analogy. Your TV is broken, and you need God to turn the TV on for you. But I don't know how he makes the correlation about getting entertained. It's kind of like going to heaven, and no, it's not. Doesn't even deal with the issue of sin. This is what's wrong with pluralism. This is what's wrong with inclusivism. It doesn't, I mean, there's many, you know what it said? It's a slap in the face of the Christian message. Because if you can be saved more than one way, then the Christian message is too much. God went overboard, right? Because all you had to do was be a good person, or, because some religions teach that. The Christian message is overkill. It's like, okay, you didn't need to do all that, God. Thank you, but that's ultimately what it has to say in pluralistic religions. God went way too far. If there was more than one way, it's just a little extreme, don't you think?
This isn't just talk. Steve lives by these words. He has 3 sons. 2 of them, he gave them Christian names like Broderick, and one of them he gave a Muslim name, Ali. As a son,
They kind of laugh to me because I didn't know Broderick was a Christian name. I mean, okay, Ali, I'll grant you that's more in Muslim faiths and communities, but I guess Broderick is a Christian name. I don't, yeah. Okay, I'll leave that point alone.
of respect and appreciation for the Muslim religion and the Muslim culture.
I named him Ali because I knew then.
That he might be different.
I knew.
And you have no problems with it.
No. Because when you come here, you understand Islam is a religion of peace. Why you got a problem with peace?
It's just
I don't have a problem with peace. I have a problem with what Islam teaches. I've met some really nice Muslims in America. Some countries you won't be able to say that, but I met some really nice Muslims, and my issue isn't that they were nice or kind. I have a problem with they teach is the way of salvation, kind of like what you're saying. I have a problem with you. I'm sure Steve Harvey's a nice guy. I've enjoyed Steve Harvey show and other shows he's done just from an entertainment purpose. But I got a problem with what you teach, I mean, just because I'm a Christian, I believe the Bible, yes, and so, yeah.
But it's a big step to showing respect to people of other cultures. What Steve did reminds me a lot of this mosque. This mosque in Abu Dhabi belongs to people in the Islamic faith. But as a sign of tolerance to the churches next to them, they renamed the mosque to Mary, Mother of Jesus Mosque.
Can you imagine a mosque with the name Jesus on it? Yeah, the world could use a little bit more of that.
Now, this was what actually shows Steve Harvey has no idea about Islam, and I would argue Christianity, because he seems to think, oh, well, Islam has Jesus. It has Mary on it. That's Christian stuff. And yes, it is. But Islam believes in Mary, or, they recognize Mary. They recognize Jesus. And so it's not like they're intermixing Christian doctrine in that church. Now, what really would be a sign of, I guess, respect or syncretism if they were teaching the resurrection of Jesus. Okay, then I'd be like, wow, this church, it really is. This mosque really is trying to intermix these two different faiths. Now, he's trying to intermix these things, and he's like, well, look, they have this word, Mary. They got Mary and Jesus on the mosque. Yeah, we can show, that's more respect. But not knowing Islam already believes Mary and Jesus. So it's not a sign of respect because Islam teaches those things. They believe that. They believe Mary exists. They believe Jesus existed. Now, if they call it the Resurrection of Jesus Mosque, okay, well, I'll be like, wow, that really is kind of saying something. Maybe so it's not really saying anything.
It's just a name, but it's a big step to showing respect.
You know,
It's a sleight of hand, to people who don't know anything about different religions.
I named my youngest son and I gave him the name Ali. I never really understood exactly what I was doing. I had a feeling about it. But now when I look at this name right here, and it says, Mary, the Mother of Jesus Mosque, it kind of gives me a little bit more of the understanding. Maybe it was something I didn't quite know at the time, but now it's starting to make a whole lot more sense.
So what does it mean? According to you, it makes more sense, but not to anyone who knows these Christianity and Islam as a religion. I mean, he didn't really say anything. Me naming my daughter, let's say I had a daughter or a son, and I named them the Hindu name. I don't know how that would give more credibility with Hindus. I don't get it. I just don't. I don't know. Let's see how it makes more sense.
And it's not just about Christians and Muslims. It's about Christians, Muslims, Jews, and everybody else. At a time when religious intolerance is on the rise, we need many, many more of these mosques, many, many more of people like Steve.
I wonder if he's willing to include atheists in that as well. I'm just curious. I don't know. Even though they don't believe in heaven and the supernatural things, would he include? Would they call it the No God of Atheism Mosque? Or I'm not sure. Agnostic Mosque. You know what I mean? Like, come on, let's keep going here. The physical embodiment God of Mormonism. Like, where do you draw the line? You want many people more like Steve. Let's go. Let's keep going. The everyone goes to heaven universalism mosque. I mean, come on.
After hanging out with Steve for a week and visiting mosques, churches, and museums in the Emirates, I am convinced religious harmony, religious respect, religious tolerance is the most important thing, and we need to promote that every single day.
Oh, so beautiful. Brought a tear to my eye. Oh, man. So apparently just putting Mary and Jesus on a mosque is supposed to bring religious tolerance and respect. I guarantee there's people fighting Christians over there, so I don't know how that's supposed to bring respect. And here I say this as a Christian. I respect people who actually stand by what they believe and don't kind of have this false unity, No, stick by your guns, and let's talk about it. I can have respect and unity from an earthly standpoint with people who believe things other than me. I've had numerous times, but don't try to pull the wool over my eyes like this, like Steve Harvey and this Muslim fellow is trying to do. This isn't like this is not how we come to our differences, by letting them go and just say, hey, it doesn't matter. That's the most important thing, is as long as we respect each other. I mean, yes, we should respect each other. Don't get me wrong, but we don't have to do that by compromise. I'm not going to compromise. And I don't believe it's disrespectful to not do so. I believe it's a sign of respect actually for that other person, that I'm willing to stand by what I believe. And so, like I said, if you'd like to watch my defense, like I said, I give a long defense for Jesus being the only way. Check out my other videos with Kyle James Howard. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it's very informative for you, because there's a lot of people like this that are involved in trying to pluralize the Christian faith and have a very inclusive religion, where we just, hey, I guess if, you can reject Jesus, you can reject his resurrection and all that, reject the deity of Christ, and hey, everything's all good, which is a rejection of the Christian faith, by the way. So that's the funny thing. When people try to do these things, they actually deny the Christian faith. And this is why you can't be neutral about these things. And so, hey, I thought I'd get my perspective on these things. Hopefully it was helpful for you. Hopefully you were blessed by it. Hey, until the next episode, guys, grace and peace.